reality and the matrix. So basically, we are living in a false matrix. This is not reality. Um, so our Earth was in agreement because just like we are free will beings, this Earth is a free will being as well. This Earth had agreed to host the 3D matrix, but that contract that I'm getting chills. That contract is ending soon, and God is calling this planet back. We've been separate for too long, and where we're at in terms of density and illusion is affecting the rest of the cosmos, and it's too much. It's been too long. God's calling us back. We're going back home. We're going to talk more about that next time. Next week, we're going to talk about the ascension, which I'm super excited about. So yeah, Earth gave permission for this, but we're literally seeing the breakdown of this happening now. So where does this false matrix live? It essentially lives in our minds. And because the majority of humans live in their minds, even if there's someone who sometimes toggles between heart and mind, they at least go back and forth. We're very mind-based beings. This is where that, you could call it a prison even. This is where that prison lives. Your brain is, because it's connected to the animal, the animalistic part of us, the egoistic part of us. It's, you could say, hackable, but your heart isn't. So what we're slowly doing is moving from that mental space, moving from that mind space, moving to the heart space where there is no programming. You can't be programmed there. This is the portal to everything that is. But we're living up here in the head. And even when you're communicating with beings, a being can say any words, a being can say anything to trick you. You can't fake energy. So when you feel with your heart, no one can get through. No one can falsify in that way. You can't be deceived with your heart. You can be deceived with your mind. So that's where this false matrix is really living, where it's existing. And how this all came about is back when we were talking about how God split off into fractals of itself to further experience itself, to experience the infinite through tiny fragments. There was a portion of God source that split off and was meant to play a role to kind of antagonize the light. Like, okay, you're still from God, you are the light, but you're going to kind of play this role to further the light through antagonizing. So to be darker, to play the role of darkness in a realm of duality brings further clarity of the light. So initially it was meant to play a role. What happened was, and who this was, there are different names used. Some people use the word archons, some people use the word Anunnaki, some people say reptilians, the dark forces, the darkness, Satan, whatever you want to call it. What happened was, over time, this dark source of energy, not true source, there is no dark source of energy, it's just lack of light, but this darkness got a little cocky with it and went a little too far and started to think, you know what, we don't need God, we are our own God. Fuck this, like, no, this isn't a role anymore. It went beyond, it started to become beyond a role. And what happened is, because God is the only source of anything, the only source of power, the only source of light, the only source of life, the further that this darkness got from the light, the less it was able to create, the less it was able to feed off of. It needs the light to feed off of, despite how distant they want to be from the light, how distant they want to be from God. They need the light to exist in some capacity. So what they did was they set up this planet in a way where we are actively feeding this darkness. We are giving it life with every fearful thought that we attach to and think, yeah, maybe that's true. And we sit and we worry and we go on social media and we scroll, yeah, I'm not good enough. I don't look like that. Everyone's so happy. I'm not happy. Bombarded with EMF, chemicals in the food. The whole way that everything is set up is to make us feel small, insignificant, fearful, disempowered. And we are feeding that false matrix through the feeling of those emotions, through the focusing on it. by what they portray in movies. There's a reason why they portray certain things in movies because they want us to sit there and focus on it and create more of it. So whenever something is like, oh, top 10 on Netflix, I'm like, okay, that's what they want to, that's what they want us to put our creative power into this message. Because it's not going to be a top 10 movie if it's not in line with that narrative, right? You have to look elsewhere for further truths. So we are powering that matrix, but we don't have to anymore, and we're slowly taking our power back. And just a small note on the Anunnaki, they actually have left this planet 3 or 4 years ago because because they realized, like I said, their antagonistic darkness was bright, furthering the light. They were realizing, oh, fuck, these people are waking up. We got to go. We're actually making them brighter. We got to leave. So because they thought, okay, you're getting a little too powerful here, we're going to take some space and hope that you kind of crash and burn on your own again. So they apparently left this planet, and there was a woman who is able to experience all dimensions, and she watched this meeting happen where they actually had a meeting and tore up that contract and said, "We have to go. They're getting too powerful." So we're doing it. We're waking up. It's very exciting. So yeah, beings of darkness playing a role. So yeah, literally in our lifetimes, you guys, this is all dismantling in our lifetimes. Ishmael Perez says that 2028 is the final cutoff year for this 3D matrix. I've heard different years, but it's always like around there. Next year, 2030 is the latest I've heard. So it's literally happening right now. It's so cool. Um, so what we're experiencing on a microcosmic level is also what's happening to the whole. So just like these illusions are coming to light, the manipulation is coming to light, things are coming out about the music industry, the film industry, about the government, the lies. It's all coming to light because what happens when you shine light in a room, you can see the dirt, you can see things clear. So the same thing is happening within our being. The light is being shone, and we're being shown darkness within us that needs to be dealt with that can't move forward in this new reality. So sometimes it feels overwhelming, but we are a microcosm to the macro, and the same thing is happening to us. So it's always good for me to remember that as well, because we're on like an expedited track right now. Things are going fast. It's like every day there's something new to look at. Um, yeah, and this is why we're here. This is why we volunteered to be here. So breaking free from this false matrix. So essentially, when we fully wake up to our power, immediately they're cut off. They're done. Their power source is cut off because we are giving them our power. They're not just taking it. They're kind of manipulating us into giving it to them, but we are giving it. So when we stop doing that, they don't have their power anymore because we hold it. So we are starting to wake up to this. And how we do this is through things like stillness. Do we ever have a set amount of time in meditation where we're trying to lengthen the space between thoughts? Because we often don't do that, right? It's like constant, constant, constant hamster wheel of thoughts. So we need that time to find that stillness, because that's when your soul speaks. Your soul isn't going to yell at you. Your spirit's not going to yell at you. It's going to whisper, but you need to be quiet to hear the whispers. The mind needs to be quiet to hear the whispers. So ultimately, through the breaking down of this false matrix, we will be taken home to the real matrix. So there's a divine matrix as well. It was the way that things are meant to be. It's us in our power. It's us living with our full abilities, with our full activated DNA. I've heard different kind of visuals to describe what this false matrix looks like over top of the earth. I've heard that it's kind of like an upside down version of this world happening in parallel, which is that makes me think of Stranger Things. I feel like that's part of the disclosure of that there's actually truth in that. There's like an upside down, inverted reality. Um, some channelers have gotten a visual of like a second Earth that's like off to the side, like a dark one that we're on, and then the real one's over here. You could see it as like a dark mist, a dark cloud that's kind of like entrancing us. Um, where when that's lifted, okay, there's 5D, there's the real divine matrix. So there's different visuals that can kind of help you picture it. But ultimately, when we go inward, that's where the divine matrix lives, and us connecting with that blueprint within us is what helps it to be real or helps us come back to it, because we then project it out. So we find it within, project it out as we dissolve this false matrix. So, yeah. So essentially this darkness, these archons, they rely on our unconsciousness. They cannot hijack conscious beings. The more conscious we become, the less manipulatable we are. And yeah, it starts with us, guys. Freaking exciting.